think Russ can read defenses. I think Russ knows the hot. I think Russ knows the will. He knows the mic. He knows wherever this blitz is coming from, man. I feel like that's such an undervalued aspect of a quarterback is what goes between their ears. I feel like smart quarterbacks succeed. Tom Brady was one of the smartest quarterbacks ever. He was no athlete. As a matter of fact, I think I could, well, Tom Brady and I are the same age, so saying I could beat him in the race isn't really saying much. But I still think I could run better. What do you run at the 40? A 5.26? I'm 50 years old almost. I still think I can run faster than a 5.26 and a 40. So that's how bad Brady was.
I honestly think that's the most important attribute for a quarterback. The older I get watching football, we all get enamored with the great, huge arms, and rightfully so. That's important, right? Josh Allen, I was blown away when I watched this combine. One of the few quarterback prospects I've ever been legitimately blown away, and he's obviously become an elite quarterback in the NFL. Pat Mahomes, we all know, could do really special things, but when you think about Peyton Manning too, it's not. Peyton Manning didn't have some elite physical traits. He didn't have a cannon for an arm. He played in the dome his entire career, but nobody was better pre-snap than Peyton Manning. And same thing with Tom Brady, right? What between the ears is, I think, the most important attribute for a quarterback, being able to read a defense, knowing what a defense is going to do. You don't necessarily need to have a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. You can get away with a 91 with a good changeup, like a great pitcher like Greg Maddux was, when you can read the field the way that a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning could. So I actually think that's the most important attribute for a quarterback. Pre-snap reads, being able to read a defense, being able to set up your offensive line properly. I think that's the most important thing. And that is why I do think it will be a massive improvement with Russell Wilson. I don't even necessarily think he's a better physical, talented quarterback at this stage in his career than Daniel Jones. But I think pre-snap, he's light years better. And I think that's where we're going to see the biggest improvement for the Giants.
Chris, I know we worked together a long time because I was going to bring up the pitching analogy as well. So I know we worked together a long time. So, I mean, Anthony, what do you think about the cerebral assassin?
I think it's a really important note to highlight for Russell Wilson, but I'll actually segue it into another conversation. Like, Chris, you mentioned Josh Allen coming out of college and how he was a physical freak. And he really didn't have the mental side of the game down until the third season of his career. And then he became an absolute superstar. But it wasn't until, because the physical traits are always there. The flash was always there for the first 2 seasons, but he really wasn't all that great. The third season, he figured out the mental aspect of the game. He turned into a star. And the point that I want to make there is that can be a learned trait. And I think that's why it's so important that the Giants have a quarterback who already has that trait and Russell Wilson on the roster, while also having a young quarterback in Jaxson Dart on the roster who can learn this from Russell Wilson and learn this from Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka. So all of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, even especially the ones that step in and make an immediate impact, Jaden Daniels, he was killing people with his mind just as much as he was with his arm. Bo Nix, exactly. Yeah. He had the mental part down in college, and it translated to an immediate successful rookie season. CJ Stroud, I mean, he's got the historically good Wonderlic equivalent test, whatever it was, and he immediately stepped in and had success. So Jaxson Dart, obviously, you want to take all that into account and look at the mental aspect of the game, and that's where we can be grateful that he has all the time in the world to sit, learn, and develop that particular aspect, because he's got a good arm. He's mobile. He's athletic. He can make some plays, but can he read a defense? Can he doesn't even know how to do a snap count, right? So these are all the things that he needs to learn, but I'm just thankful that he has the time, because it is such a learned trait and it's something that you can develop. It's the most developable skill probably for NFL quarterbacks. So with that being the case, Jaxson Dart has all the time in the world to develop that. And once he does, I think he can be something special.